It gives me great pleasure to welcome all of you all. And we have among us today Bharat Bagla, who is the founder and chief dreamer of Bees Network Calcutta. He has an AUM of over 500 crores and has consistently been among East India's fastest growing IFAs and is still raring to go. He is among the industry's visionaries and thought leaders. And let us know from him today how to handle the fast changing environment and recharge our practice. I have heard about him very often from two of my close friends, Brijesh Dalmia and Bharat Bagla. And today I have the privilege of having this session with him. So over to you, Bharat. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Ajay sir. You are one of the icons whose name we have heard as we've grown up. So it's an honor to be in front of you today, sir. And thank you so much for having me here. I am very grateful for FIFA to giving me this opportunity to share my ideas and thoughts with the other members. Thank you so much, sir. So I was told to talk about how the environment has changed. And as we all know, 2 years have gone. It seems as if we slept in 2020 and we got up in 2022. And the world has changed in between. So now, while the environment has changed, each of us as MFDs or IFAs, whatever we may want to call ourselves, that's something, a question existed even before we went to sleep, and the question remains even after we got up. But nevertheless, now the challenge is, what should we do? Should we change or should we continue to do what we used to do? So given that context, let's try and understand what has happened and where are we today. So we've all come across this old management analysis called the SWOT analysis. So I thought, let's do a SWOT analysis of the current scenario. That and for most people who know what a SWOT means, so S stands for strength, and the W is for weaknesses and opportunities, and T is for threats. So I said, let's look at our environment and see. And when I say environment, we're primarily talking about not the ecological environment, and I'm only talking about our exclusive mutual fund distribution industry and the environment related to that. So first of all, of course, we'll start with what the threats are to us. And the biggest threat that has happened is COVID. We've gone into lockdowns and we've come out of lockdowns, and we've gone into lockdowns and we've come out of lockdowns. And without any understanding of how long would each of those lockdowns be. I still remember it was March 2020, and Mr. Narendra Modi came and said that we would like to do a one-day voluntary lockdown. And what started as a one-day lockdown went in for 3 weeks. And the first 3 weeks, we were like, oh my God, 3 weeks of lockdown, how are we going to survive? And the 3 weeks became 6 weeks, and 6 weeks became 9 weeks. And karte, 2020 khatam, 2021 is over. And now here we sit in the end of 2 months into 2022. And COVID remains. But like it or not, last 2, 3, 4 days, 5 days has been so exciting and interesting that COVID suddenly has become history, and Russia is the new threat. They have loomed large. USA has been playing its role to prove its supremacy, and Russia is resisting. And yesterday we saw the biggest fall in recent times, 2,500 points on the Sensex. And today there's a recovery. We don't know if it's a dead cat bounce. We don't know whether it's a realization for the world markets. that, okay, if Russia and Ukraine are fighting, it's not something that we can do anything about, or it's not really going to affect my economy per se. So why should I lose my market cap of companies that are doing good work in India? So we don't really know. Maybe time will tell, but looks like we are in for some extended volatility. Another very, very big threat is WhatsApp. Everybody is glued to WhatsApp from the time they open their eyes till the time they go to bed. And the WhatsApp university or the WhatsApp publication or the WhatsApp industry, whatever comes on WhatsApp is what's driving the world. So I think WhatsApp is definitely a threat. And now, as far as us are concerned, mutual fund distributors, so there's an emergence of online platforms, and they're growing very fast. Paytm has started Paytm Money. Then there is Zerodha. They have started the mutual fund distribution. Then there is Grow. There's ET Money. Just name a few of the big ones. And then, of course, there are so many more. And they're growing very fast. Whether they are a threat to us or not, they are definitely acquiring market share. So I would like to put them under threats. Directly, they may not be threat to some, but yes, they are creating a lot of new investors, they are acquiring assets, and they are gaining a lot of traction. Social media is another threat. Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, every person is become an advisor. Every person has become a self-professed analyst, and there is no dearth of information available. Most of these social media platforms are becoming a platform for opinion exchange freely because there is absolutely no regulation. So one thing that goes right somewhere or one thing that goes wrong somewhere, there's endless chatter happens all around. So social media is a threat. We have to learn to tame social media to our advantage. Otherwise, it can play havoc. So on the that was happening prior to COVID, and now because of COVID, it's been pushed into our lives with 10 times more force. So what was probably going to happen in next 10 years suddenly seems to have happened in 2 years. We were getting into digital transformation, digital transactions. We were getting into online payments. We were getting into so many other electronic mediums of doing various things. But because of the lockdown, because of COVID, suddenly everything seems to be revolving around digital. So digital revolution can also be considered as a threat for a lot of us. So, and when I say for us, it also means for our businesses, may not necessarily mean individually for us. So, and yes, that's a big one. That's a big one. Direct plans. So lot of money is. I am told that the share of direct plans in the total AUM of our industry has exceeded 1/3 of the total book. So since our industry is now close to 36 lakh crores, 12 lakh odd crores is under direct, whether it is retail money, whether it is institutional money. 1/3 of the total industry is under direct plan, and it is not coming down for sure. So we have to be careful of what's happening under the direct space and be mindful of their gaining. SEBI has made sure that the expense ratios, which we call as TERs, total expense ratios, are consistently coming down. And that's another trajectory. We know that is only going southwards. And as scheme sizes are increasing, the total expenses continue to keep coming down. SEBI has already introduced a slab-wise structure to regulate how much expense a particular scheme can charge. And so reducing TERs are a threat to us because it directly affects our revenues. The lower the TERs, the lower the margins for mutual fund distributors. Volatile markets, every day going up, every day going down, are a threat. We would like markets to be a little more predictable, but unfortunately they are not. We would say that, okay, everybody does not work in the equity market, but no market is stable today. Gold is equally volatile, debt market too, even more volatile. Real estate market is something that we can't consider over here. So yes, equity, debt, gold, all of them seems to be reasonably volatile. And coming in the new fund houses. So we've got a list of new names that have come up. We've got a list of potential new applicants who are sitting on the corridor waiting for their licenses. So whether they are threats, they all want to go make their presence felt. They are going to create their niche. They are going to acquire wallet share. So we as distributors need to understand how to put them in our scope of things. And if not, then they will make their existence felt and become a threat to us. Client expectations have increased. They are increasing every day. The service standards are going up. The information levels are going up. The return expectations, because the markets in the last 2 years have been extremely good. So the clients think that 20-25% is nothing, 20-25% is a kid's play. They should be able to get 40-50-60% kind of returns or whatsoever. So yes, client expectations, both in terms of service, returns, transparency, information, engagement, etc., is all going up. With internet, Google, and so much media all around us, so there is an information overdose. Too much of information is also a threat. I remember again, last 1 week, there have been enough media hours that's gone into following what's Russia doing, what's Ukraine doing, what's USA doing. I mean, that's an information overdose. And so that matter, every subject is getting covered extensively over and beyond that's necessary. SEBI is continuously changing regulations. So yes, we need to be mindful of the changing regulations. The number of distributors are increasing. So yes, this is just a few of the threats I feel are surrounding us. And I would say that individually we can always differ on some, and we may find some other threats, but this is just some of the names that I feel are threats around us. So we need to keep them in the back of the mind. So starting this analysis of the changing environment, we start with threats, but change brings its own flavors. So a change can bring us, give us the chance. It is for us to evolve. So what opportunities do we have? The biggest is what we know as the India demography. As we all know that the India's population is second largest in the world, 130 crore. But yes, the key driver is the age breakup. We all know that the population below 30 comprises a majority of India's population, and a lot of them are now getting educated. So that's giving us a lot of new market. As far as savings are concerned, we are increasingly seeing a world where there is no alternative. So yes, for us mutual fund distributors, this is a big opportunity, because for investors who are used to getting fixed income returns in 8, 9, 10, 11 type of percent, today there is no option. There is no alternative. People have to adopt mutual funds, and that's our opportunity. Whether they want to be in debt or whether they want to be in equity. So yes, mutual fund is an opportunity. People are better off today. People are far better off today than what they were. Last I checked was India's per capita income has already touching $7,000 in purchasing power parity context, which is huge, Just to give you a understanding, the per capita income on the same PPP matrix in Pakistan is not even $5,000. So yes, we are 7. And if we were to become the $5 trillion that the government wants India to become, then the per capita income from here is going to, if nothing else, go up to $15,000 per capita income. And that's a lot of money in the hands of 130 crore people. So the rising earnings is an opportunity for us. More the people earn, the more that they will save, and the more that they save is the space that we want to be. AMFI, SEBI, etc. has, of course, spent a lot of money, time, and energy on making sure that mutual funds sahi hai, and it has played its role. It has played its part, whether it was about hiring Sachin Tendulkar to do that, or various other celebrities, but the awareness has increased today. It's rare that today we meet someone who doesn't know about mutual funds, or we need to sit down and tell them what is a mutual fund. That seems to be have become a standard accepted vehicle on. So we don't have to start from scratch when we meet someone. So the awareness is our opportunity. It's already there. People, thanks to media and the social awareness, are becoming more aspirational. People want to save more, people want to earn more, people want better lifestyle, people want better quality of life. So aspirations are going up. With increasing aspirations, they have to find ways to be able to afford those aspirations. And to get the affordability, people have to save. So for us as MFDs, the increasing income, the awareness, and added to that the aspirations of people is a classic combination. Aspiration and consciousness are almost similar. So just having aspiration is not enough. Being conscious of the need to save is very important. Today, the ratio of savings has increased. So this is another opportunity which we feel is something that we should not let go of. We are in this sweet spot right now where earnings are going up, awareness is there, aspirations are going up, people are conscious. So we just need to hit the nail on the head. Luckily for us, operating cost has come down. We do not now have to have the kind of offices and the kind of cost that we used to have. A lot of it's been moved to digital. A lot of paperwork has come down. So while incomes have come down, our overall costs have also come down. So that's an opportunity. We should be able to use that to our advantage. Now, technology is not something which is exclusive to the big players of the market. All types of technology is available to every type of distributor, whether he's an IFA sitting in a tier 2 city or somebody sitting in a town much in a remoter place. There is no barrier to accessing technology. The affordability has come down. The cost of technology has come down. There is so much convenience that so many platforms have come in. MF Utility is there, BSE Star is there, the NSE is there. So each of us can sign up on any of the platform that we like and use them for our advantage. So yes, like I said, costs are coming down significantly because of technology, because of platforms. These are opportunities for us. This is interesting. I was discussing with somebody that what is happening around us with all the digitalization. A lot of cyber frauds are happening, a lot of banking frauds are happening, a lot of phishing is happening. People are losing money and people are getting scared to do online transaction at the same time. So it is an opportunity for us that as MFDs and IFAs, we are in this space where we can provide that hand-holding, we can provide that comfort to people that, okay, if we do it through us, there is no fraud, there is no cheating going to happen. So the more cyber frauds that happen is an opportunity in indirect sense. And the markets have been positive. Yes, there can be nothing more exciting than good returns. I was looking at Sensex returns. I mean, I would just like to share if what the Sensex has done in the past, and if we will see. This is the last 10-year Sensex number, and if you will see, this is just plain calendar number returns on the Sensex in every single year of the last decade, and you'll see out of 10 years, most of the year it was a good double-digit number. So where is the need to be fearful? If we see 2012, it was 10% minus, and 2016 was -9, and 2020, and we are talking about calendar year, was the only year. Out of 10, 3 years negative, 7 years positive. And if you see the 10 decade before that, 2009 as an exception, again 4 years minus, 6 years positive. So to summarize, this is how we look at. If there was any particular calendar year which was negative, this was tiny little negatives here and there, but most of the time in the last 30 years, the market has been positive every single calendar year. So this is definitely an opportunity that when the markets give you such kind of returns, we only need to ride it in our favor. And yes, the returns are sustainable. It's not something which is happening on a daily basis. If we see the average 15-year return, 20-year return, 10-year return of the Sensex, the numbers are in high teens. Numbers are in high teens. That's sustainable return. I'm sure a lot of us know that a 15,000 rupees SIP done over a 15-year period at a average IRR of 15% becomes a crore, which is huge. So that's the kind of returns that the market is giving.
But the slides don't seem to be displaying on the screen.
Not yet, sir.
No, not even now.
Let me stop and start again. Just a moment, sir.
Yeah.
Any better?
Yes, yeah. Now we can see it. Now
Okay.
they opened, yeah.
Thank you for prompting, sir. Appreciate. So we've got threats. So yes, threats are there. We've got opportunities. Opportunities are there and they are in abundance. And these are, again, just a few of the opportunities. There are so many more and we can go on forever if we were to get into the details. So what do we do now? We've got opportunities. Then it comes to our strengths. We all mutual fund distributors, we all IFAs, we have immense strength. We have outstanding capabilities and we have to be proud of what we have. So we are the ones who can give the right advice. We are the ones who can give the right suggestion to our investors. We understand their psyche. We understand their families. We give them doorstep service. None of these technology companies can give the doorstep service to the individual houses, to individual families, to individual people, whether it is a Jawan sitting in a remote location of the country. One of my IFA friend is there serving him, whether it is a nurse in some hospital in another village. There is an IFA friend who is there to provide her the service, to help her save her savings salary. And that's a big strength. Not something can be replaced by. And if we see the gig economy that we're talking about, the Swiggy, the Zomato, it's all about the doorstep service. And while the industry or the world is recognizing doorstep service now, we as mutual fund distributors and IFAs have been giving this free of cost to all our investors from last 2+ decades. So that's a big strength. We provide the personalization. Today, technology and all platforms is saying they make their difference based on personalization. Our advice is personalized, our delivery is personalized, our service is personalized. So these are things that we as mutual fund distributors have embedded in our practice, not today, but ever since. So let's not forget our strengths. Let's remember that our advice is our strength, our service is our strength, our personalization is our strength, our understanding of client needs is our strength, our understanding of client aspirations is a strength, our understanding of the market dynamics is a strength, our understanding of the client's needs is our strength. So these are things that we process day in and day out, day in and day out. It's not something that a machine is doing it. It's we individually are doing it. And we handhold our clients through thick and thin. Markets go up, markets go down. It's we who tell the client how to manage emotion, how to manage this environment, how to not get carried away, how not to sell when the markets are bad, or how to increase allocation when the valuations are low, or how to avoid over investing when the market valuations are high, or what to expect from from the market when. So our hand holding is very important. We as IFAs are not just a vendor providing a product. We are the people who provide dreams. We are the people who provide hopes. We are the people who provides the wings to the dreams. We make the future happen. So that's our strength. We provide the returns. It's not theoretical. It's not on paper. There is in finite cases where investors have made money, investors have become richer, investors have become happy. And that's not just because of anything else, but because of our strength, where we provide advice, where we provide service, where we provide the personalization, we understand, and we provide everything with complete transparency. We do not bluff our clients. Every single rupee that the investor invests is accounted for, and there's a paper trail from the word go. And irrespective when the transaction was done, even when 6 years later income tax wants some detail or an investor wants some detail, it takes a couple of minutes for us to come back with all kind of information. That's the level of transparency. Every scheme that we choose for our investors, every penny that the scheme has invested in is known to everybody. It's in public domain. That's very, very high level of transparency. That's our strength. We provide convenience. Somebody is happy writing a check, we give them the option to write a check. Somebody is happy doing an online transaction, we give them the online option. Somebody is happy doing a hybrid model, we do it. So somebody says it phygital, somebody says it digital, somebody says it physical, somebody wants to use a platform, somebody still doesn't want to use a platform. So today we have so many options to transact, People can make payments through RTGS, people can make payment through UPI, people can make payment through checks, through standing instructions, through mandates. The convenience is endless. It cannot get more convenient. And while we talk about convenience on investing, the convenience on redemption is even better. Online redemption at the click of a button. How can it get more better? I'm sure we all have experienced how painful it is to get money out of an insurance company. I'm not trying to desell them, but I know, and I have seen it myself, and I'm sure a lot of you will agree with me that getting a maturity claim or getting a premature claim from an insurance company is hell of a task. So that's a convenience, and that's our strength. As distributors, we bring in the knowledge. We keep updating us. We are here right now today, more than 50 people trying to get better understanding of certain things. That's the advantage that we have. We never stop learning, and that we never stop adding to our existing knowledge. And we don't shy away from knowing new things. That's our strength. We keep that knowledge in front of us and carry that with us in the interest of the investor. And unlike a bank, unlike a ND, unlike any other corporate entity where RMs keep changing every year, every 6 months, every 2 years, as IFAs, we provide that continuity. We provide that security. We provide that comfort. We provide that family understanding. After a particular point in time, we are not advisors to a particular client. We are their family member. Isn't that a strength? That's continuity we provide. Years and years of relationship. That's our strength. We can be relied upon. People trust us with their information. People trust us with their savings. Money is the dearest commodity in this world today, and that's what people give it to us. So that's our strength. People rely on us. We are reliable people. So while there may be threats, there are opportunities, but our strengths are far superior. And the environment is changing. Yes, no doubt about that. The Instagram is influencing the world. The YouTube is influencing the world. There are TV channels influencing the world, but our strengths is unbeatable. The clarity that we bring, the information that we give, these are things that no other entity can provide. So I have covered strengths, I have covered opportunities, I have covered threats. What remains is the dreaded W. What do we do? W. I don't think that's a weakness, anything at all. Let's just say that's our wow factor. That's our wow factor. We provide that wow factor. All that we need to do now in this current age is provide that wow factor in our relationship, in our delivery, in our service. We just want to make that difference to our investors, that if we can provide that wow factor, that's going to be our cutting edge. We need to provide bespoke service. We are already doing it. We're going to refine our services slightly more, make sure that we go one step further and customize our services to a notch higher and become what is known as now bespoke advice. We need to improve our memory. We need to enhance. We need to remember everything in our mind. So when we are talking to our client, we need to understand with you, my mind should be sharp enough to say that, no, it's not so much, sir, it is so much. So that's the kind of memory that we need to improve. So we, as the environment is changing and we need to change, we need to improve our service to become bespoke. We need to improve our memory to create that wow factor. We need to become intuitive. We need to understand the client to the level where we can outguess what he's going to say, what he's going to need, and that's going to become our difference. That's how we can add that wow factor. If we can predict what, so that's the artificial intelligence that the machines are trying to learn from us, which we already have. We need to improve on our intuitiveness and understand what the client is looking for. Longevity. We have to make sure when while we are here, this is where we want to die. This is where we want to remain. This is where we want to be with the client till they exist. And that's the longevity they are going to get. This is not a short-term affair. This is not a place where we've come to flirt. This is where we've come for life. That's longevity we need to provide. So we need to give them bespoke service. We need to give them top-notch service. We need to be smarter. We need to be intuitive. We need to provide customization in the manner that if somebody wants a printout, we need to give them a printout. If somebody wants an email, we need to give them an email. Somebody wants a report on WhatsApp, we need to give it to them on WhatsApp. Somebody likes it on an app, we need to have an app. So we have to learn to notice the details. We have to understand that, okay, one client is a doctor and he's busy during the day. So we need to send him information only after 9 o'clock when he's free. Or if somebody's a lawyer, we have to avoid sending him an information during the court hours, and so on and so forth. That's the notice to detail we need to do. That's the kind of wow factor we need to add. This is where no Instagram reel, this is where no YouTube video is going to compare to us. We need to provide service where an investor can just reach out to us irrespective whether they want to do it over an SMS, whether they want to do it over a phone call, and we need to give them what they want. We need to improve, we need to become more efficient, adopt technology, have all kinds of options, whether it is engaging a runner in our office, whether it is engaging technology, whether it is engaging a platform. We need to have service that is completely top of the line. We need to engage all our senses. We need to remain humble. We cannot become complacent. We cannot become arrogant. We cannot become, we are in a service industry. We are not selling product. We are selling dreams. We are selling an intangible product, and people are parting with their life earnings. People are parting with their life savings, the dearest commodity on this earth, their money. So we need to be grateful to that. We need to express our gratitude to them. We have to reflect that gratitude in our behavior. We have to reflect that humility in our communication. We have to talk to them with that grace. We have to provide them with that respect. And that's the difference that we can bring. That's the change that we should bring in. That's something that no machine can do that. We need to talk to our clients in a manner that they feel delighted talking to us. We need to talk to them and address them in a way that they feel nice after hanging up the phone call. And that's the wow factor that we need to bring in. We need to engage with them in the ways that no other person can do that. Politeness is part of humility. So we need to be very, very careful. Markets can go bad. People can overreact. We cannot lose our cool. Yesterday, market was down 2,005 points. I'm sure a lot of people would have got calls from their investors. A lot of people must have got worried that they're losing value and they must be looking for directions. But we still have to remember to remain polite at all times. While we do all this, promptness. Today, we live in this WhatsApp world where the attention span of people is 10 seconds. And if we cannot provide prompt service, we will perish. So these are a few of a combination that how we can create that wow factor. And of course, I'm sure we all are doing it, but this is how some of the areas where if we can be more mindful and improve upon, then uh, we can only go higher and improve better. So like Mr. Gandhi says, that we have to be the change we wish to see in the world. And there is no other person who can change the world but us. And we need to start not thinking, is anybody else doing it? So yes, that's the environment, that's the change. And the question remains within each one of us, that should we change or not? Thank you. I would be happy to take any questions if anybody has.
Bharat, I have one question.
Sir.
Yeah. You shifted from Mumbai to Calcutta where you had no base, and you are one of the largest IFAs in East India.
Sir.
So what is it that you did differently? You had no base, you started from scratch, no people you knew in Calcutta. So what is it that you did differently?
So like I said in this whole presentation today, that a lot of things that I am saying now is something that I strongly believe in, and I've been doing it for the last so many years, that that's probably what we've remained honest, we've remained straight, we've remained calm, we have remained very, very grateful to each and every of our investor. I think that's what has helped us. We've never advertised, we've not gone into any kind of large promotional activities, but yes, it's majorly word of mouth. And yes, we are very thankful to each of our clients to have trusted us and then recommending us to their friends and family. And that's what the reason why we probably have come where we are.
Brijesh Dalmia always tells me that you are one person who has tremendous clarity on the subjects that you deal with.
Sir.
So how do you think with such clarity?
Sir, if you see, what we need to do is we need to improve our memory. We need to keep working on our knowledge. And unless we keep ourselves updated, unless we keep improving our knowledge, unless we keep improving our memory, clarity is difficult. So I guess that is something which has played a role, that why Brijesh or Pallav or somebody is sweet enough to consider me as somebody with clarity, sir.
Do you also spend a lot of time reading? And in a day, how many hours do you spend reading? And are there some books that you would recommend to us?
Sir, yes, I do spend a lot of time reading. On an average, I would say at least 1 hour a day goes into reading every day. It could be as basic as reading the newspaper, which is not fictional reading. So let's not consider reading newspapers as no reading. So even a newspaper is good reading. And besides newspapers, I do a lot of books also. There are endless books that can be recommended, but I would definitely tell people to do read up on great people of India. We do not need to necessarily look at new books. I'm sure many people would have read, for example, the biography of Mr. Gandhi, or whether it is the biography of Swami Vivekanand, etc., etc. So we all, as Indians, first need to know our history. So I would recommend people to read more about the great people of India and what they have done in the respective era that they used to live, and how they became what they became. And that will probably add to a lot of clarity and humility, that how maybe 100 years back somebody could go from Calcutta to Chicago to give a speech uh, after having spent 6 months on a ship just to travel from Bombay to New York. That's the kind of history we have. And I would definitely recommend, sir, to people that instead of reading only modern books, we should not forget the existence of the great people in our from our country and read up on them also, sir.
Can you share some thoughts on what you think about building a team and what you have done uh, in that area with our fellow IFAs?
So building a team is very important to create time in our hand. So it's a question that we all as individually have to decide, that if I have to build a team, if I have to create hire people, I have to give them salaries, that which is parting with my income. And it's important that we create that team so that we can delegate non-critical roles to them and create more time on our hands so that we can spend that much more time on client engagement, in constructive engagement and productive engagement, because that is where I feel our USP is. Otherwise, we end up spending so much time in operations and servicing that we lack the time to deal with our existing clients. So building team is important. But yes, as IFAs, it's difficult to get trained people. As IFAs, it's difficult to get very skilled people. So it's okay to not get somebody ready-made, but to hire freshers, but to hire people from reliable resources, get references from people, get somebody who's not necessarily aware about the mutual fund industry. It'll take us a couple of months to teach and train the person, but it's important to have a team.
Do you believe in having only a operations team or also a sales team?
So personally, I am an IFA. I am not MFD. I'm an independent financial advisor, and I like to keep it that way for the time being. And I think I have experimented in the past with having a few advisors on my team, but I have gradually realized that it's difficult for us as IFAs to retain, to create a sales team and provide the continuity that is very important as our profession. So operations is something which is most critical. And if somebody can make alliances and create a team of advisors together, nothing beats that. So we all know Sapient is the most iconic example here, where the most inspirational and aspirational IFAs have got together to become the biggest distribution house. So yes, having multiple advisors together is important, but till we don't get into that homogeneous mix, let's not get confused and be happy with an operations team.
Your friends in Calcutta tell me that you are Mr. Super Efficient and seem to have time for everything. So what is the secret behind this? How do you do that?
So sleep early, get up early.
Okay.
Thankfully, we are in the east, so the sun rises early, sir.
Mm.
So the day, like in Bombay, when I am there and I get up at 6 o'clock and I see the sun is down and it's almost dark outside, and I feel like, why am I getting up at 6 o'clock? It's not even morning. And I end up sleeping for another half an hour. And then 6:30, I see it's still dark enough. And then I take another 5 minutes to get up. So by the time it's really looking morning, it's almost 6:45. And in Calcutta, typically by 5:30, it is morning. So we get 1.5 hours more than in the morning. So getting up early and starting your day can give you that extra time, sir.
Do you also have an exercise routine in the morning?
Yes, sir. I like to go for long runs, and over the years I have done many full marathons. So that is another area where It gives us as IFS the space to spend quality time with ourselves. One calls it like me time. So it's important that we individually as a person should spend more time with ourselves, thinking, ideating, etc. So exercising is one time when there's nobody disturbing you.
So it also gives you time to strategize and time to energize on both. So,
That's right, sir.
Yeah. Because I had met Chandrasekhar, who was earlier of TCS and the chairman of Tata Sons now a couple of years back in Mumbai with Rami
Sir.
Dewal. He had that day just come back from the US at 2 o'clock and he was jogging there at 6. After that, he came with us for breakfast. And he told us that for the last 20 years, his travel schedule was like he was traveling almost 16 to 18 days in a month. Someday he was on flight in Europe, someday US. But he told us that he had not missed exercise for a single day. He said that on days he misses, he even had a gym in an office. But he said he has been exercising almost 90 minutes every day, irrespective of which part of the world he is. So you seem to be following his example.
Sir, when Mr. Chandrasekhar can do it, I'm sure we all can do it, sir.
Okay. And he told us that that also gives him time to strategize. So he said it's not time wasted. He said that 1.5 hour, I have strategized the whole day. So it makes me only much more efficient in the day.
So I'll give you an example, sir. I was in Kuala Lumpur once and I was in a hotel, and in the morning after getting up, I went to the gym in the hotel. And as I got into the lift, Mark Mobius was there on the lift. Okay, and I'm talking about just 3-4 years back. And he's a fairly old man. I mean, he looks charming, he looks dashing, he looks handsome, but he's got age on his side. And even at 7 o'clock, even Mr. Mark Mobius was in the lift. We got out on the floor where the gym was, and it was he also with me went to the gym. And for the next 90 minutes, he had his iPad. He was sitting on the cycle. At his age, he may be doing whatever, but even he did not stop working out, sir.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
So any parting thoughts you have for all of us?
So a few things that I can say is when we look at the past, it looks like an opportunity. And when we look at the future, it looks like risk. So if you ask me, should I have invested in the TCS IPO? It looks like a life-changing opportunity. I should have sold my house and bought shares in the TCS IPO. And if I look at future, today at 3,800 rupees or 3,700 rupees, buying a share of TCS looks scary. So that's the kind of paradox we live in, that the past looks like an opportunity and future looks like a risk. So in the end, we only get what we opt for. So don't resist. We can't change the direction of the wind, but we can adjust the sail to lead us to our destination. So I would say that, sir, the environment is changing, the world is changing, the expectations are changing, the aspirations are changing, and we also do need to adapt to the change and not let inertia become our reason for the end.
Thank you so much for your parting thoughts and very nice session. And I look forward to connecting with you sometime in Calcutta. Thank you so much again. Thank you.
Lovely, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.